living from our heart, living from our core, living from our power. We all get more. We are powerful women.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Heart Whisper Summit. I'm so happy that you're here. I know you've been listening to this summit, and you heard me say I am so grateful to be introducing all these incredible women to you who are the co-authors of the book, Heart Whispers. And it's a wonderful guide, and they talk to you about their transformations, their stories of transformation, how they started really tuning in and listening more closely to the heart, their innate wisdom that we all hold. And so I know you'll love reading those stories. And on these interviews, they get to share so much of what they're doing these days, their teachings, their wisdom, the things they've learned, what they're passionate about. Today, I get the honor of talking with Carol Collins, who wrote the foreword for this book. And she's an amazing woman. She has written several other books, and she'll tell you a little bit more about that and how they're written and really her partners in writing. And we'll talk about that. I'm going to read a brief introduction of Carol, and then we'll start hearing from her. Carol Collins is a gifted Alpha State channeler for the Yeshua Collective. Through her, Yeshua teaches the essential material, which is collective consciousness manifesting with ease, health and wellness through natural healing and intuitive advancement. These are what they call the 4 pillars of learning. Yeshua dictated 11 books in 2021 during Carol's second year of channeling and currently has more in the works for publishing. Yeshua is revolutionizing intuitive training and clearing the pathway to a true, clear, verbal connection with non-physical beings. They describe their work through Carol as the depth of Edgar Cayce, the substance of Jane Roberts, in the style of Esther Hicks. Carol has been interviewed by celebrity personalities, featured in over 24 magazines, was named to several top 10 women to watch lists, and is internationally known for giving powerfully accurate readings. Carol is rising swiftly to be among the great channelers bringing true, eloquent teaching from beyond. And Carol, I'm happy to welcome you today. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing really well.
Good. I know this isn't the first time we've talked, and I know so much about you, so I really am excited for our audience to know more about you. I know the topic today is create your reality using intuitive abilities. And I know you have done that. I love watching your journey and what's going on in your life and your business and how you're putting yourself out there in the world and doing so much great good. You are a channeler, as we talked about in the bio. Can you tell us, let's start with this, a basic question. What is a channeler? And also, what is mediumship? You know, like I know they're different and some people confuse them or think they're the same.
You're right. A lot of people confuse them. A lot of people think that inspired thought is channeled. You know, that I like to say, I'm channeling my inner Beyonce when I'm, dancing around the living room and vacuuming and really feeling like I'm tuning into the song. And that's not channeled. That's not quieting your mind and reaching to this non-physical place where teachers are, where our loved ones are, where the higher consciousness is. Channeled is an ability. Intuition is an ability. Clairvoyance is an ability. And channeled is an ability. So, and they do go in that order. We've got a certain amount of intuition. It's always competing against law of attraction because those two are side by side. And then there's clairvoyance and all the different clairs. Yeshua calls it ocularity. And so I would just say phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of your awakening, of your abilities to connect with, the people on the other side. Phase 1 is intuition. Phase 2 is mediumship. And it's all of those abilities that you traditionally think of. And then channeled is phase 3. And it is a more verbal ability. And I had a conversation with Yeshua the other day trying to describe what all 3 of these are. And they said, well, think of it this way. They were prepping for, one of the interviews that they were doing. And they said, think of it this way. When you were little, you were taught, think before you speak. Think what you want to say and then say it. Use your words, but think about what you want to say. Think, did you say that the right way? Think, and then say. And so the mind of a person wants to do that first. It wants to think the words and then say them. And so traditional mediums, that's what they get. They receive thoughts in the mind, and the thoughts are visual, and they could be verbal, visual. They could be pictures, illustration, and maybe they hear voices, and then they have to choose to say it. So it's an intermediate level. I hate to say intermediate level, but it's intermediate between intuition only, where you're just feeling the need to say something or think something or to go somewhere. So you've got your human capacity to think, and there is intuition weaved in. And then mediums, it's got to go through the mind. Think before you speak. So channeled is no longer needing to think before you speak. And the words that your guide or your non-physical teachers have to say, it comes out loud. And when a person sticks with meditation and really receives good training, then it comes out clean and clear, and it comes out unfettered. So there's no contamination. So, everybody's a beginner until they're not. But how do you know if you're a beginner? You don't. Yeshua teaches a lot about how to self-validate. They do validation. I do a lot of validations in readings and things like that, but it's an ability, and I couldn't be more excited to have it.
Yeah. So that's so interesting. So you have all the abilities, right? You have the intuition plus the mediumship plus the channeling. Is that correct?
It is. I always look up and to the right, the way that they always teach, and I say, could I have better intuition? I'd like even better intuition. I would just like to be able to, pull things towards me and get it. And they said, well, what you're wanting is to correct law of attraction. You've got these competing demands of what you think about, you get. But you think about a lot of things. You might really like the room that you're in, everything except for the wall color. Or you might really like your outfit, but you don't really feel like it fits for that function. So you've got, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. And law of attraction looks at both. And whichever one is strongest, that's the one that you end up manifesting. So they're always at competing odds. Intuition comes through and provides a thought or provides a way of being, but it's nonverbal. I have a lot of people that say, well, my intuition is telling me to tell you this. And I just kind of smile and say, well, then it's not intuition, but you're thinking, well, your thoughts are. So, and our thoughts are ours. Intuitive thoughts are your guides. Mediumship, the thoughts are the guides. And channeled, it's the thoughts of the guides. But when someone is a verbal, I would just say, the levels that Yeshua describes are beginner, intermediate, advanced, professional, expert level. When you reach that professional level, it's your guide talking. It's coming through the human being and out loud into the room, but it's their words. It just doesn't have to be shown in the mind's eye first. So think before you speak is a way of teaching yourself that I don't really have confidence in what I'm saying. And in meditation, Yeshua works on confidence, 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 and trust, trust, trust. And then the body is willing to say the words without stopping and putting them in the mind first. And so it just comes out animated and clean and clear and fun. And also that's how the books are dictated. So I just sit in front of a video camera and they identify the book, identify the chapter. They say the whole chapter out loud, and then they close the chapter. And then I shut the video off. So it's a way of saying their thoughts get brought into the world, one person at a time, when they get it channeled. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And you're talking about the Yeshua Collective. You're talking about Yeshua, and you keep referring to they. Let's talk about them. Who is Yeshua?
A group of teachers. And they've identified that generally there's 3 or 4 that are in any single conversation, but as many as 15 or 20 are available at any point. So they teach different aspects of the essential material. So the essential material is, as you mentioned, 4 pillars. It's conscious life on the other side and why we're having a physical life. It's law of attraction. It's how to self-heal the body, and your awakening, which is the unfoldment. And there's many different entity beings, teacher level beings. At the teacher level, I think that works. And They say it's kind of like this. They put a thought together by combining thoughts of many, and then my personal guide just sends the information from the non-physical place to the physical, and my mind receives it and then says the words out loud. Or I do also have the clairvoyant ability, but they're a group of evolved beings on the other side, and they've chosen to teach those 4 pillars through me.
Through you. Why you? Why do you think that happened?
Well, a couple of reasons, I think. They do say that there was an intention when I came into this lifetime to bring channeled to the surface and have some books written. But they said, I love the material. And they said, law of attraction is always at play. And if you love the material, you get more of it. And so from this non-physical conversation, they said, when you love conversation from us, the crown chakra cleans itself, the third eye cleans itself, the throat chakra cleans itself, and then they're able to clean out your belief system, and then they can teach. Otherwise, they can answer questions and they can provide some amount of guidance. But when the human being falls in line and falls in love with the material, then they say it's like clean slate, and they can start teaching. And then they progress the teaching. So I love the essential material. I love pillar 1. I think it's fascinating to learn all about why we're here and how it all works and how the subconscious mind works. I find all it fascinating. Law of attraction is extremely useful. Self-healing, it's just, before we started this recording, I had to seize, and I said, what was that one about? And they always tell me it's some kind of indecision that's brewing. And they go into depth of the how and the why, and it really makes you aware that, it's cause and effect. Our life is cause and effect. What we think about, what we do, what we receive, and what we say ends up in our life one way or another. So, that healing from trauma, which, Heart Whispers does that, healing from trauma is the chakra system gets banged up from the emotional gunk that we hold inside. And that needs some kind of cleansing. And the way Yeshua describes it is non-physical cleans non-physical, physical cleans physical. So, you've got mud on your arm. I did a mud thing with my grandson yesterday. You go outside and you get all muddy. You take a shower and you wash the mud off your physical body. But the non-physical body, we can't see it. We don't know where the gunk is, but your guide does. And so when you sit in silent meditation, they can get in there and they can just clean the emotional residue from what life has done. And then you feel better. And then you receive recovery. And when you reflect on recovery and you choose to write about it and share it, then other people say, oh, recovery is possible. And recovery is possible is the first thing that shows up. And that's a little bit of cleaning out in the chakra system. So what does Heart Whisperers do? It is throat and heart chakra cleaning out. So just by reading the book and focusing on the healing aspects, everybody's situation is different, but the healing aspects, it's healing, story after story after story after story. The throat chakra takes in, I would like to be healed. And the heart chakra takes in, I can be healed. And those are two different thoughts. Thoughts create your reality. And so it's the healing that gets soaked in. And then people find their way to learning how to recover themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why we do these books, so that these stories provide that example, that encouragement, that hope, really, that some people really, that we all need. So I know we've talked about Yeshua. How about Yeshua comes forward and we talk about, ask them, what is it that they would like us to know today about Heart Whispers and what it means to us, and, maybe developing our own or our own intuitive abilities, and that ability for each of us to listen more closely, clearly to our hearts.
We are Yeshua to speak here. We always like to announce ourselves, but we don't really need to stop and have Carol breathe first to bring us through. It's the way that her mind has acclimated to it. And there's a few that do it the same way, most don't. So when we talk about intuition, intuition is a sound wave that comes through the dimensions into your energy field. When a sound wave is used, your physical body gets healed. When a light wave, L-I-G-H-T, when a light wave is used, then the chakra system gets healed. When the chakra system gets healed, then your emotions soften. So healing by way of connecting with your guide, but not all the way to mediumship. So increasing your intuition is allowing your chakra system to receive the healing that would come in waves. It's a wave of energy. And there's two different types of energy that we send through the dimensions: light wave energy and sound wave energy. But both of them are considered intuition because it's not conversation. So we want everybody to have stronger intuition. And so we laugh a little bit when Carol said, well, wouldn't it be nice if I had stronger intuition? And we said, well, don't say, wouldn't it be nice? Just say, thank goodness I have excellent intuition. On your way to having excellent intuition, because your words matter. And so intuition is a silent conveyance of healing. When you have silent conveyance of healing, the chakra system gets healed. When it gets healed, then you have an easier time being a person. Your emotions are softer. When your emotions are softer, you don't get your feelings hurt as often or as deeply. And then you don't say the wrong thing because emotions were harsh. So things get better and they get better and they get better, but your interactions with people get better, but your own self-talk gets better. And so we like intuition. It's not intuitive healing, but it is intuited healing. Intuited, meaning it's a silent conversation that's coming through the communication pipeline. It's on purpose. And when you close your eyes and you sit and you just listen to nothing, meaning not your thoughts and not the mind activity, then your guide chooses one, either the light wave or the sound wave. And then they target a specific thing, either some physical healing or some emotional healing. And there's so many different examples, but that's what we like, and that's what we want people to know. And so we open the floor to you. What would you like to ask us?
I'm wondering, so when you're talking about silence, are you talking about meditation?
Yes. Yes. Because the world is too fast-paced. So once upon a time, people didn't need meditation because their lives were slower. They were more peaceful. You know, you went outside and you gathered your ingredients for dinner because you pulled them off the vine. And so you were working with nature, in nature, and you were moving about in nature, and you were touching nature, and you were doing it by yourself or maybe with one or two other people, not with combines. And so life is thicker emotionally. You don't get enough things done. You don't have enough time. You don't know who to trust or where to go and how to do it. And when is this and when is that? And how do I get here? And how do I get there? Oh yeah, I need my GPS. Oh my goodness, where's my phone? Does it have the battery? It doesn't have the battery. Who's got the right cord? Because all the phones are different. You know, it's an accumulation of I don't know and I need peace. And so meditation now has become a critical component of physical life to heal your bodies, but also to heal your mind and emotions. Silent meditation, there's all kinds of forms of meditation. And we say there's one form that connects you with the opportunity to be healed, and that's silent meditation. So that's curling up in a nice, comfortable position and closing your eyes. It's all about data. We always talk about data. The data that you take in becomes who you are. And it's the data of unwellness that is too rampant. The data of unwellness is watching it, seeing it, witnessing it, being exposed to it, listening to it, experiencing it. But watching television is an experience, although it's not your own personal life. But it's still an experience that gets taken into the subconscious mind. And then subconscious mind is, now we like to remind everybody this, your subconscious mind is your personal law of attraction. It's magnetic pull that causes you to have a thought, behavior, or physical problem. And they have to be rectified in that order. So meditation is silence.
Hmm.
Although a fun meditation experience, like a sound bath meditation experience, that provides joy in the grid. And so your joy amplifies, but it's not a healing moment for the chakra system. The chakra system needs silence,
Okay.
able to hear the energy that's coming through.
Yeah, interesting. So for instance, if I'm going to meditate, I want to do a silent meditation, I set myself down. Is it beneficial for me to have set an intention or ask a specific question? Is that the time for me to do that?
It is, but it doesn't have to be. So let's say you've got 10 things that your guide sees going wrong in your body. Now, your guide knows how much time you have. They also know your intentions before you set them. So don't feel bad if you forget to set an intention, because they're already well aware. They have such insight to your physical body that you would just be amazed, and you'd say, well, I never have to worry about a thing, because they see it before it happens, and they do. So let's say you've got 10 things that are all rising to the surface, and you've got 20 minutes. And so in that 20 minutes, they can target 3 things. If you set an intention, your intention might be one of those top 3 things. And so lucky for you, all 3 get done. But if you set an intention, and let's say what you really want done is number 9, but because you've set an intention, your guide has to make a decision. Do they do 4, but not as deeply? Or do they focus on the one that you've asked for and then use intuition to guide you to another quiet moment so that they can do the other 3 that are rising to the surface? And it all depends on what is going on the inside. And so we say, don't worry about intentions. Just know that your guide is doing what needs to be done. Now, let's say those 10 things that are rising, and the 3 that they target are the 3 based on the time frame that you have. Those 3, if they're not taken care of, could amount to a thought or a behavior or a physical thing, like a sneeze or something worse. And a sneeze doesn't seem bad, but a sneeze can end up being congestion in the sinus cavity or in the face or in the teeth. So it all depends on how much of a bad thing you want to continue with. So we would say, don't worry about intentions. Just have more trust in your guide. They know what needs to be done.
I love that. So that gives me a sense of confidence and freedom to know that I am guided, protected, and I can just trust that those whatever messages I need will be taken care of. I think a lot of people can't live in that space or don't allow themselves to live in that space of trust. We feel like we have to control our own lives. And so how can we gain more trust in our guides and in Yeshua or whatever guides present themselves?
It's learning. It's learning. So in meditation, we take care of the emotions so that you feel better. And along the way, eventually, you'll have stronger confidence. But when you learn about what a guide is, and what a collective is, and what a non-physical teacher is, and what a healing component is, then you start to connect the dots. It's adding logic, not superstition. So we add a lot of logic in pillar 1, 2, 3, and 4 because we can. Because the system of Carol, I mean, the chakra system of Carol allows us to speak rather plainly. So we use a lot of storytelling, and we break it down to the nuts and bolts of how things work. And that aids you because all of you want to understand how things work. And superstition doesn't get you there. It adds more, oh no, I don't have, I think I need more information. And so those people find themselves scratching more often. And sitting in an uncomfortable position more often, and there's more. But meditation is a silent conversation that your guide has with the chakra system. Many times people sit and meditate and think that that's the time to have a conversation with their guide. And if you're a highly qualified medium or channeled person, that's a good thing to do, and we can do it. But silent meditation is needed to correct what's going wrong in the emotional body, which is your energy field. So sit down and have a silent moment with yourself so that your guide can have a very strong, energetic conversation with the chakra system. And then if you really like conversations with your loved ones that are over here where we are, or if you really like the idea of having a conversation with a powerful human being that is over where we are, or your guide or anybody else, then work up to it in meditation in classes. Mediumship is for everyone. Channeled is for everyone. And we prefer channeled because we get to say what needs to be said without contamination from the human thought. There's always contamination when you're using ocular abilities, clairvoyant ability.
Yeah. I love this, and Yeshua, Carol, I could talk to all of you forever. It's wonderful. I always get wonderful message. I'm looking forward to my own silent meditation later. And I thank you all. And our time has come to an end. I know, Carol, you have some things I would love for you to present yourself to our audience. Let us know what you're doing, what you offer, how we can be connected with you and learn more from you.
Yeah. So, gosh, there's so many things. So in a quick moment, I would say, I love Yeshua. And I love that they love to do readings. Readings are private conversation with them, and it is on any topic that's important to you. They also do energy attunements. So in a private conversation, they can take care of what's manifesting, what is manifesting and why, how to get more of it or how to get away from it. That's what happens in a private session. So I'd like to give that to everybody. It's a really wonderful thing to participate in. The other thing is memberships. So I do a live virtual Q&A session. It's a workshop with Yeshua every month. It's a 2-hour, except for in December, it's a 3-hour. And it's start to finish questions from audience participation, questions to Yeshua. And membership gives you live virtual access to all of them, the opportunity to submit or ask a question. You get the archive of that. You get a free 30-minute reading with that. You get one of the Yeshua books with that. You also get to witness Yeshua doing book dictation and then asking questions about that chapter and potentially having that Q&A session put at the end of each chapter for at least one book a year. So there's a lot. So that's a shameless plug. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Membership is on the website and it's $50 a month. $50.
Wonderful. And what is your website, Carol?
ThePittsburghMedium.com.
ThePittsburghMedium.com. Wonderful. As always, it is so wonderful to talk with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love the foreword that you wrote for the book. I know that everyone listening will love reading that as well. And I appreciate you and Yeshua and all the beautiful work you do. Thanks for being part of this.
It's great being here.
Wonderful. And audience, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here and giving yourself this gift, because it is a gift for you. Learning all of this amazing thing from all of these incredible women, it will bring so much more into your life in terms of being able to, tap in, as Carol says, to your own intuitive abilities that we all have. So do that. Be sure to buy this book, Heart Whispers, on launch day, which is June 22nd. You will go to our website, heartwhispersbook.com. We'll guide you to the Amazon page for your country, wherever that is. We do have a 99-cent Kindle launch on that day. So buy the book for 99 cents. Then you will get access to more than 40 gifts from our partners and authors, and they are awesome gifts. You will love that, and it's a wonderful deal. So definitely do that. Give yourself that gift as well, and continue to listen to this summit. It is filled with such inspiration and joy. So do that for yourself as well. And for now, have a beautiful, intuitive, wonderful day. Bye, everybody.